Minister of Manifestation here, your soul coach, Jeremy Ryden. I'm the author of Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted, and founder of Divine Spark Ministries, teaching people everywhere to embrace their divine spark. You know, I get excited when I get letters and emails and phone calls from clients all over the world telling me, Jeremy, I'm so glad we had that breakthrough call. I'm so glad that we were able to hear what my soul was trying to get across to me, because now I'm receiving the blessings of the universe. I got that promotion. I found my soulmate. I'm pursuing my passion. You know, we can turn our dreams into reality. We can have more fulfilling and happy lives. And I try to teach that, encourage that every single day that I am around anybody that I can impact. And so what I want to do right now is give you just a little nugget, give you just a little insight what I'm going to be speaking on later this week. I'm a guest on Psychic Horizon radio show on Blog Talk Network, and I'll be speaking on that radio show later this week on different ways to open yourself up to get messages from God, messages from the universe, miracles, how to get going in the right direction and not sabotage yourself. And so just a little peek, because people are always saying, I wish I had your intuition, Jeremy. I wish I had your intuitive insights. And I want to say you do have it. You do got intuition. Everybody has it. Now, not everybody has learned to listen to it. And even few have learned to trust it. But I can teach you how to not only hear it, but to trust it in such a way that you're not acting necessarily crazy, but you are acting in faith with what your soul is leading you to do. So just what I would say right now is step one, probably one of the most important steps, and maybe I'll give it a two-step combo here, or, right and the left. When we look into the sacred scriptures, it talks about how when the disciples were on the water and they were getting ready to drown, the ship was getting ready to be wrecked, that Jesus came approaching, walking on water, but the disciples, this is the part I want you to hear, the disciples did not recognize Jesus, and they cried out in fear thinking it was a ghost. And so what does that have anything to do with you getting messages from the universe? Well, number one, if you want to get a message from the universe, if you want to tap into your intuition, if you want to tap into that faith that is more than what you can just see and perceive with your five senses, then number one, you got to have an open mind. You got to have an open mind because, they didn't recognize. A lot of times when we are praying, when we're wanting God to work things out, we already have in our head how he's going to do it or how she's going to do it. We already determine how we want to receive the answer. Lord, you got to do it this way. Spirit, you got to do it this way. Universe, I need it this way. And so we go in with a lot of preconceived ideas. These preconceived ideas are our preference. And there's nothing wrong with having a preference. But if you want more miracles, more blessings, more opportunities to have your mind blown wide open with what God is able to do, then learn to say, this is my preference, but I'm open to receiving whatever Spirit has in any way it wants to come, in any shape or form. They cried out in fear because Jesus was coming to them in a way that they weren't expecting. The first thing to open up your mind, opening your mind is the first way to really receiving messages that normally you wouldn't get if you already have your preconceived ideas, your judgments. If your faith says it can only come from this person or only this religion, you're shutting out how big the universe is to get your attention. The universe uses all kinds of symbols to talk to you. The whole book of Revelation is about symbols. So yes, the universe can say, on this day, at this time, I want you to do this. Yes, it can speak literally, but many of your messages, many of the things that come from your subconscious mind, that come from your soul, are not literal things. These are symbols that have a meaning. And if you can learn to look at the symbols, well, what's a symbol? Maybe you're seeing the same animal over and over again. Google animal spirits. See what that animal, what it is associated with. Or maybe you're seeing certain numbers over and over again. Well, look at numerology and see what those numbers represent. What's the message that the universe is trying to get across to you? Maybe you're having the same dream, a recurring dream. There's all these great little insights and information if you take the time to relax and keep an open mind. Brainstorm. Say, hey, there's no right or wrong answers. How could this symbol mean this? How could that symbol mean that? Sooner or later, your gut, your hunch, your intuition will say, bing, that's it. That feels right. That feels in alignment. That makes sense. But you can't get that if your mind is closed and think that God can only speak in one way. So, say a prayer with me right now. Universe, I am open to receiving the message from however you want to deliver it. In the Torah, they had a donkey talking to the, excuse me, they had a donkey talking to the priest. God used the jackass to get a message across. And so some of these people that are irritating you and making you mad, you got to stop back and say, wait a minute, they're not attacking me. Maybe there's some truth to what they're saying, or maybe there's a message even beyond their hostility that the universe is trying to get to me. A warning, a sign, a guidepost. Not to discourage anyone, the universe, God is on your side. He wants you to have an awesome life. He wants you to live in partnership with Him. Partnership with the divinity in you, working hand in hand to create a life that's fulfilling and meaningful, impactful. But you got to lay aside your judgments. You got to lay aside that little nagging voice that says, oh, this ain't the universe. Oh, this is just me. You got to lay aside judgment, because the only way to keep an open mind is to leave judgment, leave it alone. Now, I'm not saying be stupid. I'm not saying be ignorant or naive. But I am saying take some of that critical voice judgment, put it aside and say, I'll at least consider that this could be one way that God is trying to get my attention. So I'm going to go more into it later this week on different things that you can do to strengthen your connection to the divine. But this week, hallelujah, starting right out of the gate, let's look at ways that we can leave our judgment a little less and open our minds more so our heart can receive more. A lot of times for your heart to be open, your mind must be open. Open your mind to say, I'm willing to receive the messages that normally I may have laughed at. I will keep an open mind to see if there's something in it that can benefit my soul and my spirit. And watch God use all types of people, all types of situations. You turn the radio on and you hear a certain song, and that song gives you goosebumps because you were thinking about that situation. Spirit's all around. The question is, are you listening? To listen, it starts with an open mind. Hey, this is your Minister for Manifestation, your soul coach, Jeremy Ryden. I love each and every one of you. I'm kind of getting over a cold, so if you can send your healing thoughts my way so I can be in peak performance for Thursday's radio interview, and also to help all the clients out there, you can go to divinesparkministries.com.